Welcome to Dobby's Repairs. I'm Dobby the Fixing Elf, and this is what's in my toolbox, the series where I show you the tools I use to repair cars and fix things. So let's find out what's in my toolbox today. And in this instalment, we have the Aneng SZ308, and it's a small compact multimeter. Fairly inexpensive. I paid around £12 for this one, and it's a fairly straightforward little multimeter. So there's all the let me just zoom in so you can see. It's got all the dials on the front here. So you have DC volts, AC volts, millivolts, and DC. And the DC amperage, let's say. So we've got the amps just here. Also there's HTF, which is for your transistors. We've got a square wave generator. You've got your continuity, your resistance values, and like I said, and then just select what you want with this little toggle switch at the front here. I'll show you more on that in a minute. It comes with a set of leads. They're not the greatest. Let me zoom back out so you can actually see a bit better. But yeah, they're not the greatest lead, but they are just 4mm banana plugs, so you can buy replacements of these fairly cheap. They're quite stiff and not the nicest lead, but they come with it, so that's always a bonus. It takes one 9V battery, which is just behind this little sliding door here. You slide this out, and you see standard 9V battery in here. Pretty straightforward. Just pull it out, let you do it. Let me just show you quickly. So basically, got a little tab here. You pull it up, and as you can see, standard 9V battery. Just plug it in, positive and negative, like that. And pop it back into the case and close it up. It does come with a little warning on the back. And you've got this case back on, kind of difficult to deal with the camera in the way. Risk of electrical shocks, do not remove the back. Test degree testing stuff, pretty straightforward really. Pretty standard. I'm just going to grab in something so I can lean it up so you guys can see a bit better. Hopefully this lovely tape measure will help. Nope, let's find something a bit more solid. This back that we're going to be using in a minute, just to show you a test, that should do the job, hopefully. Might need something a bit more solid at the bottom too. There we are. There we now have a decent angle at it. Yeah, the front is quite nice. It isn't backlit, so it's fairly straightforward. You just have to make sure you've got the right sort of light. I don't know if you can actually see that on the camera. Let me see if I can zoom in and show you a closer look at the actual screen itself. You can, it is quite nice. You can see it tells you what range you're in here, so if you change range, it'll change it on the screen. And yeah, it does millivolts as well, so it's quite high precision. Let's start with, we'll turn it off and we'll plug in these leads. And then we'll start with voltage. And they've got 3 ports, so see that quickly. You've got your standard amps, milliamps, voltage, resistance. The common, which is for your black lead. And then your DC amps, so if you're measuring amps, you'd move your red lead from this side to this side to measure amps. We're not going to be measuring any amps in today's video because I've got nothing that generates amps. And I should probably also mention I've got no way of testing the square wave generator at the moment. I do plan to pick up an oscilloscope at some point. If you guys have got any recommendations for that, for a decent automotive oscilloscope, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll do my best to get a hold of it and test it out and see what it's like. But yeah, so let's quickly just set this to the 20V range. So as you can see, it's set on the 20V range now. We'll test some batteries. So let's quickly start by how we're going to do this so it makes it most easiest for everyone to see. What I'll do is I'll test the battery first, so I'll quickly pop this on negative to negative, positive to positive. And with one hand, I'll pop it on there like that. And this is a 12V battery, and it's reading 12.99. This is off the Airhawk tire inflator. You guys may have seen this in a video a long time ago. A really handy little thing. I have the battery near charging, so it's nice and easy to grab and show you. And it's great for measuring car batteries, and etc. So it does that. You can also do it on smaller things, like for instance these little batteries that my GoPro camera takes. Let's put this right around. We should now have, if I can get the camera up, it's going to be a bit difficult with stuff like this because not enough hands. Yeah, we should hopefully get a reading. Let me just do this first. Very interesting video, that's me fiddling with these. Let's leave that one, we'll just do a normal AAA battery because they're simpler and easy to hold. Again, I can do that with one hand. I still see the camera. See the multimeter on the camera. You see, just over 1.58 volts. So, not a bad battery, I guess. Yeah, they're not too bad. Got that one on the kids' toys, it stopped working, so once you get below a certain voltage they are kind of useless. Let's put this out of the way. We'll show you the continuity, because my biggest pet peeve with most multimeters is the noise they make when you're set it to continuity. So continuity just down here, the little buzzer symbol, and you also just got diode mode too, so you can test LEDs with it, as you can see there it is. And yeah, we'll quickly test continuity. So we'll put this right at the back of the desk, and it's fairly loud. So if it's going through your ear, you've got headphones on, but yeah, fairly loud and fairly useful for checking continuity on stuff. So if you want to check continuity on a wire, let me see what I've got quickly that I can show you. Oh, that'll do. Here's another multimeter lead off a different multimeter. Just happen to have this, so we'll just put one end on here. Doesn't matter which end we put on really. And then we can check continuity of this wire. You see it still works nice and good. So that's good. Put that out of the way. Let me grab a resistor for you so we can see the resistance. And here's just a standard resistor. We'll just set it to the low resistance range. I think this is a quick look so you guys have a look. I don't know if that's coming through, but I believe it's a 220 ohm resistor. So let's zoom back out, grab the leads, go on in, set this to the 2000 ohm range. Hopefully we can get that on there. No, it's not very well. Again, this sort of stuff is difficult to do on camera, but we'll quickly wrap that around there like that, so that makes it easier. We'll do that the same with this one. This is making connection. Just so you can see what I'm doing. That should be on there now to come off, typical. And there we are, 217 ohms, not bad. So quite good, quite close to the 220 ohms that it's spec'd out for. If you know about resistors, you know we've got a band that gives you the tolerance. And yeah, off the top of my head I think that's right. Tolerance, so that's not a bad resistor. Obviously, like I said, it has got a square wave generator on it. I haven't used that just yet, it's just down here. I will get it and test it out properly, but the other features I've used it for have all been pretty good. And yeah, I've got obviously our diodes, I won't show you that on this video. Not really what we do here, but as for multimeter, it's pretty good. You switch it to HEF, and then you would have your transistor in here. It does PP, PNP or MPN, so useful like that. Again, it's fairly compact, so useful for getting in tight spots. I found myself using this one mainly as a, I just need to do a quick battery measurement to see how much life's in the battery, whip it out, and you know, fairly compact. I do store it like this, which isn't ideal. I do tend to store it rolled up like that. I did no storage case or anything with this one, so it's not ideal. You can't really do that with your leads, you should have it more secure. But when I just chuck it in the box, my little travel caddy is fairly alright. I have tested AC measurements with it. It does seem to register the two, you know, the voltage you hear over in the UK, so it's pretty good. And it does seem pretty safe. I mean, I wouldn't want to do a lot of it, but I don't really work with mains electricity, so you know, it's a 12 volt multimeter, so you know, be careful with it. I know it comes with a standard, and let me find the box quickly. The Chinese standard just on the side of the box, which is GB T32194-2015. So again, Aneng makes some pretty interesting tools. I've got another multimeter coming. I'll show you guys in the future from Aneng, which looks fairly interesting and fairly different. But anyway, on back to this one. Before we move on to my final thoughts, I just want to let you guys know that obviously I make What's in My Toolboxes every week. They come out every Tuesday. And I do repair videos as often as possible. I've got some more repair videos coming out very soon. I've just got to get round to editing them all down. And sometimes time and life gets in the way. But yeah, overall this is really good. And obviously if you're new here and you've made this far into the video, drop a like, consider subscribing. That really helped me in the channel out. And yeah, so moving on to my final thoughts now. It's a fairly decent little multimeter. It's cheap, compact and very useful for little jobs. I wouldn't want to use it for any major diagnostic work, for like checking battery voltages, checking resistances, checking continuities and wires. Yeah, it does a really good job of that. I'm going to give this a 3-spanner rating, so 3 spanners will pop up here as always. Yeah, not bad little multimeter for doing basic little jobs. Obviously it does come with 9V battery, which is really handy, quite easy to replace. The only things that let down for me are the quality of the leads that come with it. They're not the greatest, and I wish it had a backlight, because when you're in dark spaces, let me just quickly turn the light off and I'll show you actually. When you get in the dark spaces, it makes it rather hard to read. When you're like in somewhere dark, you can just about make it out with the normal light on. But yeah, it does make it hard to read, and that's why it's got a 3-spanner rating. Sorry if the audio changed there where I moved around, but overall it's not a bad little multimeter. If you're looking for a cheap, easy to use multimeter, pick this one up. And a huge thank you to my Fixing Club members Mako, Rodney, Jason, Sebi and Mr. R. Thank you all for support. It really helps me and the channel out. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or entertaining, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps both the channel and me out. If you're new here, consider subscribing. I post 2 videos a week, so by subscribing, you'll never miss a thing. Got any questions or suggestions? Drop a comment down below, and I'll do my best to reply to everyone. Here at Dobby Repairs, we're all about helping you learn how to work on your vehicle safely and showing you don't need to spend a fortune on tools to get the job done. Want to support the channel further? Become a member, starting at just 99p. Members get perks like early access to videos and more exclusive content. Keep fixing, and I'll see you in the next one.